The Serial History of the Turco-Mongol Mule Nation by the pen of the young historian of Afghanistan Rahmatullah Turkmen is being uploaded on this page. Be sure to give your opinion and share this post. Thanks. Name of the book, Seljuk Tarkra, author of the book Hubal. Ghazi Badr Khan, translation from Chagatai Turkish to English, translator, Rahmatullah Turkmen. Episode number, To Remembrance of Turkmen, Japheth and his descendants. According to some traditions, Japheth also received prophethood. While many deny it, Japheth, in accordance with his father's orders, left the mountain of Jodi and settled on the banks of the river Edel and Yake, lived there. For 250 years, Japheth had 8 sons. Turk Saklab Sak Russia Khazar China Kumari Tarik. At the time of his death, Japheth gathered his sons and made the oldest son Turk the successor, and bequeathed the rest of the brothers to obey him. Turk was the bravest and wisest of all the brothers. It is also called Japheth Oli. He traveled to many parts of the earth and set aside a place for his people to settle there. This place is now called Asiaqara. Don't like 10 houses tents are his invention. All Turco-Mule nations from Turkey to Central Asia and Mongolia are descended from him. Turk bin Japheth had 4 sons: 1, Tudik, 2, Chagal, 3, Darshar, 4, real estate. At the end of his life, Turk bin Japheth appointed Tudik as his successor and took the path of the hereafter. Tudik was a very wise and kind-hearted person, famous in history for his generosity. He was a contemporary of Khimers among the kings of Asia. One day Tudik went out hunting and hunted a deer and cooked it on fire. Meanwhile, a piece of meat fell on the ground. Picking it up and putting it in the mouth, the taste of the meat was very good and different. It was known that the land was salty. He invented the use of salt in food. He died after attaining the age of 240 years. After his death, his son Ughuz Khan became his heir. The use of the word Khan first started from him, who lived long, and then handed over the leadership to Bakri Deb Khan from among his descendants. Deb means the throne and Bakri means the head of the nation. Got a lot of fame among the people. At the time of his death, he handed over the throne to his son Khan. Khan fulfilled his father's will and left no shortage of service to the people. After Khan's son Ughuz Khan took over the leadership, during his time, the population and kingdom of the Turks expanded greatly. He had 2 twin sons, 1 Tatar, 2 the mules. At the time of his death, Alnaya Khan divided his empire into 2 parts and divided it among his sons. After the death of the father, Tatars and mules became kings in their respective countries. Mule Khan had 4 sons: 1, Kara Khan, 2 Khan, 3 Kara Khan, 4 and Khan. Mule Khan took the path of the hereafter by placing his eldest son Kara Khan on the throne. Kara Khan lived with his tribe in Yeluk, Karmi and Antag and Kurdig today. This area is called Alatag Big Hill and Kechipteg Little Hill, and their abode in Yeluk Sardi was on the banks of the Sur River and Karakum Mountain. To be continued. Name of the book, Seljuk Tarkra. Author of the book, Hubal, Ghazi Badr Khan, translated from Chagatai Turkish to English. Translator, Rahmatullah Turkmen. Mention of the birth of Ughuz Khan. A boy was born to Kara Khan's elder wife, whose face was brighter and brighter than the moon and stars, beauty such that no eye had seen such beauty. This baby did not drink its mother's milk for 3 days. After birth, every night that newborn child would come to his mother's dream and say, "Oh mother, become a Muslim. If I do not believe in one God, I will die of hunger and thirst, but I will not touch your milk." The child's pain was not seen by the mother and she believed in Wahid Allah Sharik. After that, the child started drinking the mother's milk. This woman did not mention her dreams and faith to anyone. She remained true to her belief and lived according to the orders of Allah all her life. When did the generation of Turk bin Japheth leave unity and fall into polytheism? From the generation of Japheth bin Dam, the Turkish nation always remained true and was not even aware of the name of polytheism. But during the time of Alnaya Khan, when wealth increased among the Turks, they were seduced by the devil and gradually became greedy for wealth I started worldly and deviated from the straight path and fell into shirk. Even during the time of Kara Khan, disbelief became so prevalent that if a father heard that his son was a Muslim, he would kill the son. And if the son realized the true faith of the father, he would take his father's life. In ancient times it was customary among the mules of Turks not to name a baby boy or girl until he was 1 year old. When the baby was 1 year old, there was a big feast, and the whole village a name would be suggested for the child by invitation. Similarly, Kara Khan's son also reached the age of 1 year, and this joy, Kara Khan, who was also the king of the country, arranged the grand feast and invited all the people. After that, the 1-year-old child was brought before everyone, and Kara Khan addressed the elders of the nation and said, "Our son is 1 year old. Now suggest a suitable name for him before the elders of the nation." "We're saying something," a voice came from the mouth of the child lying on the swing. "My name is Oghuz." Poetry Turkioshulber Yashar Olan and Rowan. Kelip Telga Teddy Bollinger Ayan Atium Oghuz Kuzronamor. Bellingler believes in our translation that 1-year-old boy began to speak fluently. He said that, "From today everyone should know that my name is Oghuz and I am the great emperor. All the talented people should remember my words." Just as God spoke to Jesus as a child lying in Mary's lap, he also spoke to Ughuz Khan. All those present were stunned to see this little child talking like this. The elders considered it auspicious, and it was decided that when the child is saying his own name, we cannot find a better name. Having said this, the name of this blessed child of the king was announced as Oghuz. No one in the world had ever heard a child speak like this before. The word spread far and wide. Everyone who heard and so understood that this was no ordinary child. Allah was often heard from his tongue as a child, because Allah is an Arabic word, so Turks and mules were unfamiliar with this word. Those who hear the word Allah in the Oghuz language say that the child wakes up from sleep and cries and tries to say Anna with his tongue but is unable to pronounce it correctly. Anna means mother in Turkish and Mongolian languages. Or, since Ughuz Khan was a born saint, Allah released his pure name from his tongue. According to some traditions, Ughuz Khan was given prophethood when Oghuz was young. Kara Khan married him to the daughter of his brother Gurkhan. Oghuz said to his wife on the night of marriage, "You, me, and the whole universe have been created by one creator whose name is Allah. Believe in his oneness and follow his commands." His wife rejected his words and refused to believe. When Oghuz saw that his wife was not willing to give up on belief, he separated his bed and stopped even talking to her. No one else in the house knew that Oghuz was a monotheist. After some time, Kara Khan came to know that the relationship between his son and his daughter-in-law was not good from the first day, and there was no harmony left between them. So he married her to the daughter of his second brother Kara Khan. God married Ughuz Khan also invited her to Deen Haq, but she also did not agree to leave her old religion. Ughuz Khan also left her and separated the bed. A few years after this incident, one day Ughuz Khan went out for hunting. While returning from hunting, he saw some girls washing clothes on the bank of the canal. One of them was the daughter of his uncle, or Khan. Ughuz Khan sent him a message and met him in solitude and told him, "As you know, I have had two marriages before. But the reason why there was no relationship between me and the other wives is that I am a Muslim and they are on shirk. Despite what I say, they leave their religion, but not ready. If you agree to accept religion, then I can take you in my marriage." On hearing this, the girl accepted Islam by reciting the Kalma while showing her consent. On Ughuz Khan's request, Kara Khan arranged her marriage. To be continued.